They're making a Human Centipede 3. Where's the demand for that? Most of the time when I tell people they're making a Human Centipede 3, they're like, was there a Human Centipede 2? Yes. Yes, there was. I've not seen it, but I've heard it's horrible. I've heard that it makes the first one look like a masterpiece, which would be quite a feat. And the funny thing about the Human Centipede 3 is that there's going to be 500 people in the Centipede. I think in the first one there was 3. And then in the second one there was like, I don't know, 15 or 20, something like that. And in this one there's 500. So I guess the logic is the more people in the Human Centipede, the more money we will make from people watching this horrible fucking movie. So my question is, why not just make the plot that like a race of aliens is coming to our planet to turn the entire fucking population of Earth into a 7 billion person long Human Centipede, you know? How would you like to be on the front of that, by the way? You would feel like a lucky son of a bitch if the entire world was turned into a Human Centipede and you're the one up there in front like, yeah, I don't gotta eat no one's shit. Unless they do like an Ouroboros, like the fucking serpent forever eating its own tail. There's no beginning and no end. It's just everyone's sewn into a circle. But that's not really a centipede, though. I mean, I can understand watching the Human Centipede out of curiosity. Like, you watch the first one because you're like, what the fuck? But, like, anyone who saw one of the sequels, you officially are a Human Centipede fetishist. Like, if you saw the first one and you're like, okay, now I gotta see more. Like, you got problems. No one wants to see more of that, okay? I mean, there's people that have jerked off to the Human Centipede. It's happened. There's been a guy that's just sitting like, oh, I guess this gives me a boner, okay. Certainly he never thought of it before the fucking movie came out, but now that he's seen it, he's like, yeah, I'm down with that. And there's nothing for him to do afterwards is the sad thing, Like, it's not like he can go and make his own Human Centipede when he's done jerking off. He's just got to keep watching the movie and fucking, fantasize about it in his head. Because, I mean, like, you don't have the time or the fucking inclination or the money. I mean, you might have the inclination, but you don't have the time or the space or the privacy to fucking make a Human Centipede. It's like, who has that? Not very fucking many people. Like, unless you live, like, alone on a giant plot of land and it's like a fucking farmhouse or something where no one bothers you, like, unless those are your living conditions, you don't have the fucking ability to make a Human Centipede. You just don't. And, even if you did, like, I mean, and it must be even worse, like, if you want to be in the Centipede. Like, if you're watching, like, oh my god, I'd love to be in the fucking Human Centipede, that's so hot. Like, that's even fucking worse, because then you have to find someone else to do the sewing work, I mean, and that's tough sewing work, by the way. I mean, like, can you imagine trying to sew someone's fucking face to someone else's asshole? Like, can you imagine how much, like, just, this is ass. Like, you can't, you gotta get in there, and it's very difficult to just, you got no room to work with. So you should definitely try knitting a blanket or something beforehand. But, I mean, if you want to be in the Centipede, you gotta find someone else that's willing to do that. And you got to find at least 2 other people who want to be in it with you, or, like, abduct 2 people who, would be in it unwillingly. But it's probably better to find someone else who's like you, another freak, because it's just, it's better to have consent, obviously. And, you want them to cooperate. You want them to go along with the whole prospect so that it's not like, some big struggle. But then, you got to have arguments over who gets to be where in the fucking Centipede. Because, I mean, like, I'd imagine that if you if you want to be in the front of the fucking Human Centipede, because it's like, I like the idea of being part of the Human Centipede, but I don't want to eat any poop, so I will be in the front. And it seems like you'd know if you want to be in the middle, because then it's like, okay, I like the idea of being in the Human Centipede, and I don't mind eating the poop. The position that I think no one would want is the back, because you're not really getting the full Human Centipede experience. Because no one's sewn to your ass. Like, it seems to me like you'd either want to be in the front or you'd want to be in the middle, depending on, your tastes. But no one really, it would seem, would want to be in the back. It's just, I think that would be the position that most people were like, I'm into this, but I ain't being in the fucking back, The back sucks. No one's sewn to your butt. It's bullshit. Who the fuck wants that? Not this guy. Not that I want to be in the Human Centipede at all, but if I was gonna be in the Human Centipede, I ain't being in the fucking back. I'll tell you that much.